Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Dude, you see that on Facebook and Twitter where someone will be like,
as a black man,
as a black man who's voted Democrat in the last 28 elections, I'm 170 years old. I will be switching to the other party for the first time ever. And then on the other side where it's like, you know,
he wasn't allowed to vote in most of those. That's
a
voter
Republican
fraud.
but Donald Trump has lost me. And it's like, you can just look at the person's account and it's like, this is a picture of you and Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
you're gonna be sneaky, like take that down.
Did you guys see that Tony Hinchcliffe? I think you were about to bring that up, weren't you?
I was going to talk about the ballot boxes being burned, but yeah, Tony was the opening act at the Maddison Square Garden Trump rally, which, by the way, packed, like packed in a kind of way that it looks. And Tony goes off, and one of his jokes. You want to tell it, or you want me to? Because it's great. It's
you can have it. Yeah.
Joke. You guys hear about that big floating trash pile out in the ocean? It's terrible. It's terrible. They call it Puerto Rico, right? and the crowd goes, "Rrr," and he goes, "Oh, okay. That one didn't work, huh? All right, we'll move along. We'll move along."
It's been the dominant topic of the current news cycle, at least in my little universe.
Yeah, they're clutching.
That's not a good idea. Like the last thing they want to go into the election with is like more pearl clutching over jokes. That doesn't play.
I see your point. And so my knee-jerk reaction was like, that's a bad joke. And so was the people at the MAGA rally. Their knee-jerk reaction was like, this is not an acceptable joke. So I'm not alone in that. Pretty much everyone agrees that it went over the line for that environment. The guy's a roast comic, that's what he does. He's got tons of jokes just like that. That's who he is. So
no matter what, even if he was doing this at the DNC or whatever, like I'm always going to come down on the side of like the comedians should be able to say whatever they want. Like if you think it's a bad tactical move to put him up there, I'll listen to your thought process, all that. But at the end of the day, it's like,
that's where I'm coming from. I think that having a guy hate on Puerto Ricans at your rally is a bad tactical move.
Maybe it seems.
I don't know. They don't. It's not like
really
well
for them right now.
They do get to vote. They're citizens, and Pennsylvania has like the largest Puerto Rican population in the country.
Well, it didn't affect the polls today, luckily, because Puerto Ricans can't vote.
I think he's been
not true. They're
you
literally
don't read English. Woody. I think I know what a Puerto Rican is. They're from that Spanish island country.
Yes.
All right. I get that there's some Puerto Ricans who live here in the U.S. who maybe want to become an American, but they gotta have their passport. How Puerto Rican flies into Chicago, they better be.
You know how the Asians have their like racist stack ranking of one another, where like the Japanese and the Chinese like. They both think they're tippy top, but if you talk to a Japanese person and was like, "Hey, stack rank the Asians," they'd put the Chinese like over the Philippines, like because they all kind of bully the Southeast Asians.
They'd all have the Koreans near the top.
I think the Koreans are kind of respected up there. What's the equivalent in the South American world? Because I don't know what their stack ranking is. Like do people from Venezuela see Honduras as like fucking shithole? Like,
I think so. I think Venezuela used to be super prosperous until. I don't know the economics of it. I tried to understand it the other day.
They nationalized their oil production, and then we shut that down because
George Bush had all that beef with their El Presidente, and their countries had that hyperinflation thing. But yeah, I would imagine that's true that the Venezuelans would look down on the Hondurans. Frankly, everyone does. They're incredibly short people.
The Hondurans are. I think the whole continent is pretty short.
No, my papa's
just
Honduran.
Made that up on the spot.
No, my grandpa's Honduran. He's a little fellow.
Yeah,
say no more.
My name is I am Meyer. They first, I guess. De uno.
I know they're Americans and everything, but I just don't think that does Puerto Rico ever go. It doesn't matter how many if they go red or blue, right?
The territory doesn't get electoral votes.
You're talking about the Puerto Ricans
only matter
dispersed.
Yeah, but the Puerto Ricans that live in Pennsylvania,
immigration,
continue to identify that way strongly, and there's a lot of them.
How many people live in Puerto Rico? Is it like millions?
I think so. I'll Google it real quick.
Why do we have Puerto Rico? Like, what the hell is going on? Why do we have that? Like, what's the history? I'm
about 3 million.
Okay. So like a size of like a mid-sized city metro. Pretty big though.
I don't care about the Puerto Ricans. I don't think anybody's going to care about the joke either. I don't think it's going to change anybody's vote at this late juncture. I did look at 538 and Real Clear Politics.
More than Chicago.
And Trump's leading like
Metro. I mean, yeah, if you look at city proper, everything gets much smaller.
Trump's leading like everywhere, like almost every single poll, almost every single state. You know, you have to really be looking for the outliers to be like, look, Harris is doing really well in this state and this poll. And it's like, yeah, let's hope that's the one, right?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, he seems to. It's been on like a pretty consistent month-long tear now, where he's been going up in the probability and whatnot. The betting markets are ridiculous. Now, I don't bet online or anything, but I have a couple friends who like really love sports betting and all that. And so I don't even know if they've bet on it. Of course they have. They love betting. They like send me screenshots of the poly market or like the dip, because that's only one of them. There's like Keshi or some other like multiple big betting markets. And he's up like in a retarded way there, like 65% to 35%. And that's
I remember there were rumblings about him losing Texas potentially, and Georgia was almost a lock for the Dems, a month ago, and then now it's like, no, not at all. And then and all the swing states except for Michigan or
Wisconsin,
he's fine.
Oh, Minnesota,
it's the other M. Yeah. One of the M's he's got.
Walls is from Minnesota, so they're like I would have. If they lose Minnesota, it's been over for a long time.
I look at it a little differently. Like when Kamala was up, I look at 538. They said they do this election 100 times. She wins 54, he wins 46, and everyone was like, "It is razor close. This is an incredibly close election. It might look like she's up, but statistically that means nothing. 4 points." Now Trump has the inverse of that. He's the one with 54, and everyone's. I just don't think it's a done deal yet.
I don't either. I don't.
It's a done deal. I think
it's not done deal.
It looks better for him than it ever had. I was seeing like a comparison of his leads versus this day in history 4 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. He has never had as big a lead in the swing state Rust Belts that he has in any previous election than he has right now.
Yeah, scroll down to the more. I want to see the horizontal line chart. It might be the next one.
Zach's so racist he won't use dark mode.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's how it is. And, if you go back a month, like say the beginning of October, no one thought it was a slam dunk for Harris. I'd rather be ahead than behind is what I said, but I didn't think I was scared. Now it's the same thing. I wish I was ahead instead of behind, but this isn't a slam dunk.